Welcome back. We'll be starting the newspaper reviews with The Nation. EFCC, 13,000 convictions secured. We have a big advert here. Tantita Security Services Nigeria Limited. Excitement as President Tinubu commissions facilities renovated by Tantita at Sultan Bello Mosque, Kaduna. Another story here. Otedola, over 2 trillion siphoned in fraudulent fuel subsidy claims under Jonathan. And I'm sure we have more stories in the papers. What do we have in The Nation?
Can I start with Otedola?
Yeah,
So the billionaire has decided to flog that man. He's been a bit harsh on them. That's the Depot and Petroleum Product Marketers Association of Nigeria. He said, on subsidy, I personally warned President Goodluck Jonathan that he was being misled and that the system was built to benefit depot owners and that man. And their members became the primary beneficiary of subsidy. Over 2 trillion was siphoned through questionable claims, all tied to depot licensing. The policy was rewarding. The policy rewarded neither transparency nor innovation, but rewarded and encouraged rent-seeking and corruption. And he said that he must commend President Bola Tinubu for daring to do what no other leader before him had the political will to do, and which was to execute the full deregulation of the downstream petroleum sector. He commended his friend, of course, Dangote, for being innovative in that sector, saying that this period has ushered in a new era of transparency, healthy competition, and customer-centric service delivery. He said this sector has been long plagued by rent-seeking, subsidy fraud, product diversion, and smuggling, and these reforms that the president has brought in marks a decisive break from the past and lays the foundation for a more efficient and accountable energy market. Yet, despite this progress, these voices said there are still voices clinging to the old ways, voices, and then so he went on to advise that man, which is in other papers, but we can take it that they should reinvent themselves, and that the sector has been finally taken over by the right business formula or the right business methods, which is of course the refinery. And Dangote, Dapman, Nupeng have been going back and forth about this so-called monopolization of the sector, as they claim, and removing them from business. But we can all attest to what was in the past. First petroleum scarcity, strikes, and all of those things that caused hardship, forcing the government to pay monies, subsidize their businesses. That's not the way business should be done. Exactly. And I agree completely that this change should stay.
Yes, EFCC has secured conviction of 13,000. This is the executive chairman, Ola Olukoyede. He spoke in Washington, D.C. on Friday at the EBI Group Africa Leaders and Partners Forum. They said he joined other world leaders at the forum to discuss de-risking investment in Africa's strategic sectors, agriculture, energy transition, and critical minerals. He said that EFCC in its 22 years of existence has maintained a trajectory of vigorous investigations, prosecutions, and assets tracing, recovery, and return. The consistency of the commission is on his mandate. He explained has made it possible for it to deepen and widen the investment fortunes of Nigeria. He says that there can be no greater incentive to investors than assurance of due process and rule of law. From background of zero conviction for financial and economic crimes, we have now achieved over 13,000 convictions in 22 years of operation. In 2024, the Commission secured 4,111 convictions, and he says this has rekindled confidence that investors who, for many reasons, felt cheated, can now seek redress. He said so many things. He also mentioned that they offer advisory service on demand to foreign investors seeking information to navigate potential risks in Nigeria's investment landscape. And he said that the EFCC issues alerts to put the investing public on notice regarding trends in the investing environment, and that could expose them to unmitigated risk. And give an example of the notice on 58 Ponzi schemes masquerading as investment schemes that were published in March, and so on and so forth. Just, give them just what the EFCC does, to make sure de-risk Africa. It says they recognize that Africa is like new bride. Everybody wants to come because we have lots of riches and everything, but investors are afraid. But they are here to assure them that they are there to make sure that when they come into Nigeria to do business, there's always this body that protects them from, all these risks. So
well done. So I have one here. Markets in Lagos and other key cities markets have recorded a marginal reduction in prices of some staple foods, offering temporary relief to consumers grappling with months of steep inflation. However, market data reveal conflicting trends with gains in affordability for some items by fresh. There are also fresh surges in other items, leaving traders and households uncertain about the outlook. So it says since February, the prices of several staple items have eased following increased supplies from farmers who have commenced harvesting. The most notable reduction has been in onions, with the cost of a big bag plummeting by 43.2% due to a wave of fresh arrivals from northern producing states. They also said prices fell for egusi, that's melon, white gari, beans, frozen fish varieties such as kote and titus, 25-liter gallon of vegetable oil and yams. They said traders that sell ugu in the market said a 50 kg bag of rice last December between 80,000 and 90,000. That was what they sold. But in February, the same quantity was sold between 70,000 and 75,000 naira for a bag of rice. November last year, we got up to 230,000 per bag. They said there are a lot of things. Beans also used to sell up to 300,000 naira per bag.
The onions is current.
But now, yes, they said current, but now it's between 150 to 90,000 naira. So some things are reducing while other things are going up. So people are a bit confused, but at the end, like you rightly said, depends on the season. Which other stories do we have?
Yes, I do have the story, Constitution Review, and it is extremely important that we pay attention because the Deputy Speaker of the House, Benjamin Kalu, is also the co-chair of the Special Ad hoc Committee on Constitution Review and is going to be presiding on the Congress Hall at the Transcorp Hilton in Abuja, where they will be doing a constitutional review, just this hearing, conversation with public hearing that will be taking place. And the public hearing will be taking place across 12 designated centers nationwide.
Okay.
They are urging Nigerians to get, they are urging us
to come out,
to get involved. Okay. There's something that Benjamin Kalu said. He said the Constitution belongs to all Nigerians and its review must reflect the aspirations of our people. I urge citizens and stakeholders to participate fully in the national public hearing and make their voices count, because only through their contribution can we achieve a truly participatory and people-driven constitutional review. And they now release the link with which people can read about what the reviews are, inform themselves so that when they attend the hearing, they would have more information. It's bits.li/HRR compendium. Please just go and check it out, because sometimes it's easy to just talk and yab what is going on. When you don't involve, you have no right to complain.
Yeah. We'll take a breather here. When we come back, the newspaper reviews continue. Stay with us. Welcome back. We're still reviewing the papers. Moving on now to the Daily Sun. Major headline: Benue police killings. Federal government applies tougher measures. IG deploys more tactical operatives. Arrest 6. Insecurity. Southeast governors incapacitated. Monarchs cry out. Demand state police. Federal government to relocate 30,000 cattle out of Abuja. Israel dismisses Canada, UK, Australia recognition of Palestine as independent states. Tinubu to declare open 2025 Editors Conference in Abuja, November 4th. Government revokes additional 1,263 mineral licenses. Zenith Bank posts 2.5 trillion gross earnings, declares 1.25 interim dividends. What do we have?
Major headline. The Nigerian police force has arrested 6 suspects over the attack and killings of 6 personnel of the police tactical team by suspected armed headsmen and local militias at Agu Center, Katsina Ala, Okum local government area of Benue State. So this is according to the force PRO, CSP Hudain. He said the attack occurred on Friday, September 19th. It resulted in the death of 3 police officers, while 7 others are still missing. But then there's also a report from a source who said that a security team numbering over 90, led by an assistant superintendent of police, Lami Usman, also known as Nzuru, who is dreaded by criminals in that area, was moving into the general area to flush out armed headsmen who stormed the area in large numbers, and then they unfortunately drove into this ambush, and then during the exchange of fire, they killed over 16 members of the security team. They took several others away, including their leader, that's the popular and dreaded Assistant Superintendent of Police, who had over time been leading the onslaughts against bandits and armed headsmen in that axis. And they took him away, and they said since he'd been taken away, they've been calling that line, but someone who speaks a different language has been picking up the calls. They said it's really a sad day for them because he was the one who had been at the forefront of fighting bandits and armed headsmen in this part of the state. Criminals, bandits, and armed headsmen were scared of him. His demise will pose a major security challenge for our people. This is a tragedy. They said the chairman of Katsina Allah confirmed the incident, also posted a development on his verified social media handle. This is truly a sad one. To have even the people of the community testify to the work that this particular police officer was doing, and then to be caught up in this, the sacrifices that people in the military and the police make for us.
Yes. Our hearts go out to them.
So I have the Minister for Livestock, who is Livestock Development, Minister Idi Maya, who says that the ministry has commenced the process of relocating. You know that I read that story thinking they were opening it, and they had to read it again just to be sure at what stage they are in. So it's just commencement, and they are, according to them, they have just started. He said this grazing reserve is a 9,000 hectares of land in the Buhari area. That's Kawu Grazing Reserve will be located in the Buhari area of Abuja. Is supposed to accommodate 30,000 heads of cattle with more than 10,000 human beings in that grazing reserve. And so they've gone there to inspect. He said they've come, they're looking to put a 15-kilometer road, solar power, lights, street lights across the reserve. Boreholes, dam, irrigation facilities, schools, solar power,
still going to be done.
Facility security, pasture and manure production centers, markets and other social infrastructure. And so they've gone there, they've seen the dam, they are going to do that. They've sunk one borehole, they intend to sink more boreholes. They also, talking with the people in the community who he claims are excited to see them. I'm super excited just reading this way too.
Okay, why?
As are they excited, it should not be audio. Because he is also promising in the report that this is not an empty promise. Okay. And I hope it shouldn't be what he says, because really we have pressing issues of herders and farmers clash. Cattle grazing, but the FCT is not even plagued by that. The FCT is just, you just have cattle
on the road. Existing on the road.
Existing with humans.
Running to cattle. And running on inside our FCT. So our federal capital territory.
Since they are looking at it, having a reserve.
Of hearing them telling us they want to
but we've always had cattle reserve. Each state has been protesting against cattle reserves in their state as if they don't eat meat. But now
we actually need the reserves.
We need the reserves, and so we want to see a serious place where this is done, which is why I'm waiting for the minister.
Yeah.
It is well.
Do you have a story?
Please let me take the spirit, because Nigeria matter seems to require spiritual help. So, Governor of Rivers State, newly brought back, is now seeking welcome back Governor Fubara. He's seeking spiritual support as he begins afresh, because you see, ordinary eye cannot solve Nigeria problem. So he has resumed official duties following the expiration of the 6 months emergency rule, and he said prayers and intercession, that was yesterday. So at the St. Paul's Anglican Church, Opobo Town, headquarters of the Opobo Nkoro local government area, where he attended Thanksgiving service, and it was his first public outing since resuming office. He said at the service, this service was actually the Thanksgiving and harvest service of divine possibilities. Okay. And he used that to say he's here on the first Sunday after resumption to thank God for quietly, thank him. He has thanked him quietly, but he's thanking God publicly for what the Almighty God has done for him, and what God will continue to do for him and his family. But not just for him and his family, but for this state and Nigeria. He's thanked these people for the gift of peace, and he's asking for spiritual support, as he carries out
We'll all join him in prayers. Yeah. Vanguard, definitely going to be our last paper for today. Crude oil imports hit record high as Dangote refinery reshapes trade flow. Zenith Bank gross earnings soars. Otedola to Dapman, your business model outdated, Dangote transforming petroleum sector. I'm sure we'll have more stories inside. So what do we have in Vanguard?
Let me take the one inside, because this one happy me. The Nigeria Liquefied Compressed Gases Association, that's the LPG operators, are throwing their weight behind Dangote and calling out Nupeng. They said they condemn Nupeng, what they call Nupeng's high-handedness as a group. In a statement signed by the Executive Secretary and the CEO, Larry Waju Bayewu, the association faulted the alleged disruptive activities of Nupeng against Dangote Refinery, warning that such actions threatens the Nigeria's economic stability, particularly in the downstream sector. I'm surprised. An operator. So I think Nupeng needs to re-strategize. Nupeng has been very influential as a pressure group, and they've done well over the years. But this,
they need to
pressure the flow now. Yes.
No, they must. No, they can continue to exist, but do it properly. Don't be anti-people.
Exactly. That's fighting against the tides.
I have a story that maybe I saw the headline. It just gave me
palpitation.
Yes, palpitation.
Why?
It's about the security challenges within Katsina State, and a notorious bandit, Kachala Umaru, has warned security operatives against using only kinetic means to deal with insurgency. And he said that if you kill 10, 20 more will come. So if you kill 20, 30 more will come in their place in the bushes and in the village. That, according to him, is truth. He said, truth be told, governments don't care about anyone. They are all about money, how to generate money. If government care about the people, all these things won't be happening. Then the one that shocked me is if our boys mistakenly abduct anyone. I don't know how people mistakenly abduct anyone.
Okay.
Or if security operatives apprehend one of our stakeholders, should be involved and see that the person's taken is released. Let's tell ourselves the truth. If we know these talks won't foster any peace between us, then it will be the best if we remain the way we are. He had this conversation while there was a peace talk going on, and this doesn't sound like somebody in a peace talk. It's like someone that was giving an ultimatum that if we have power and we have people, and so if you fight us and you don't release our people,
you'll come back.
More will come. Honestly, I don't think that.
I have an NDLEA story.
Yeah,
can I take that? So, two Brazil returnees, Ofoma Sunday and Okachukwu Frank Ikechukwu, have excreted a total of 116 wraps of heroin and cocaine they ingested after days in observatory custody of NDLEA. They said one of the suspects, a 46-year-old Ofoma, was arrested Tuesday at the terminal of the Lagos airport upon his arrival from Brazil. He was taken for a body scan, which confirmed that he had ingested illicit drugs. NDLEA said that Ofoma had left Nigeria for Brazil September 3rd to courier this consignment to Lagos for a reward of $2,500 upon successful delivery. Then another follow-up operation conducted at Eliata Hotel Amuodofin, where Ofoma was instructed to meet one Nwekeju Chukudi, who was designated to oversee the excretion of the drugs at the hotel and recover them. So, yeah, that person too was arrested. A total of 111 wraps of heroin weighing 1,452 kilograms were ingested in 8 excretions by Ofoma. Anyways, this is NDLEA doing his job, so those two have been arrested. Yeah.
All right, thank you, ladies. That's all we can take on the newspaper reviews. When we come back, we'll move on to the topics for today. Stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.